Hello friends, welcome to Manu Law Classes. I am Gautam Dixit, जीके एंड करंट अफेयर्स फैकल्टी। आज के इस वीडियो में हम 9 अक्टूबर 2021 का डेली हिंदू एनालिसिस करेंगे। सो लेट्स मूव टुवर्ड्स न्यूज। सो आफ्टर 68 years, Tata's win back Air India with rupees 18,000 crore bid. Okay, so now let's look at the history of Tata and Indian Airlines. So why we are using this term, why the article is using the term winning back, so that is in the history. So in 1932 JRD टाटा जो थे, जो रतन टाटा के पहले टाटा एंड सन्स के चेयरमैन थे, so JRD टाटा ये फर्स्ट फ्लाइट जो है इनॉग्रल फ्लाइट लेते हैं फ्रॉम कराची टू बॉम्बे। इन्होंने खुद इस फ्लाइट को पायलट किया था। देन इन 1946 टाटा एयरलाइंस इट बिकम्स अ public company and it was renamed as Air India Limited in 1946, just a year before independence. And then in 1948 government of India acquires 49% stake in Carrier, and then in 1953 government nationalizes Air India, मतलब complete control of government. Then debt problem start हो जाती है Air India की. Okay, so to overcome that, now see the Air India merges with Indian Airlines. Now what is the difference between Air India and Indian Airlines? So Air India जो है वो इंटरनेशनल फ्लाइट्स ऑपरेट करती है, इंडियन एयरलाइंस डोमेस्टिक रूट्स को कैटर करती थी। सो दे वेर मर्ज्ड। देन इन 2012 गवर्नमेंट अप्रूव रुपीज 30,000 करोड़ बेल आउट फॉर एयर इंडिया। बेल आउट का मतलब होता है कि एयर इंडिया वाज इन द टोटल डेप्ट ऑफ 67,000 करोड़, उसमें से गवर्नमेंट अप्रूव 30,000 बेल आउट पैकेज। Then in May 2018, 6 years after, government attempts to sell 76% stake in Air India, but there were no bidders. Then in January 2020, again the government launches second attempt, this time offers 100% stake in Air India. And then in October 2020, Talek Private Limited, which is the subsidiary of Tata Sons, यहाँ पे ये ध्यान रखना ज़रूरी है कि कौन सी कंपनी ने खरीदा है एयर इंडिया को, that is Talek Private Limited, subsidiary of Tata Son, emerged as the winning bidder. The second bidder was Ajay Singh. Okay, now see what benefits the Tata will get. Now see the Tata, they will own 100% stake in Air India, then 100% stake in Air India Express. Air India Express क्या है? It is an international low cost arm of Air India. Okay, then 50% in the joint venture which is called as Air India SATS. तो Air India SATS का एक 50-50 पार्टनरशिप का जॉइंट पार्टनरशिप है। SATS क्या है? SATS is a leading gateway services and food solution provider. Then 141 aircraft of Air India, then access to network of 173 destinations including 55 international ones. Then Tata will also own iconic brands such as Air India, Indian Airlines and Maharaja. ये जो पूरा हैंडओवर है it will be completed by December 2021. That is important. Okay, now ये जो पूरी बिडिंग थी ये 18,000 करोड़ में हुआ है, ठीक है, जिसमें से if we will just see that 18,000 करोड़ में से 15,300 करोड़ is the debt component of Air India. Okay, and remaining 2,700 crore will be cash paid to the government. Now which of the government department handles the privatization of public sector enterprises? It is DIPAM. Okay, DIPAM. So who is the incumbent secretary? Tushin Kanta Pandey. Now क्या एयर इंडिया के जो बाकी के assets हैं, okay, that will be also be transferred to Tata. So we will see that the non-core assets, ठीक है ना, such as land and building, उनको non-core assets कहते हैं. This will not be transferred to Tata. In fact, the government will make a special purpose vehicle company called as Air India Asset Holding and they will be transferred to them. The next question, इसके next topic इससे related आज का editorial भी एक है, that the targeted killing of Kashmiri Pandits in the Kashmiri Valley. Okay, and this has led to tension, a fear of insecurity among them, and they have gone on leave following the killing of a leading pharmacist and one principal and one teacher in Jammu and Kashmir Valley. Then a small standoff happened between India and China again in Tawang So Tawang is in Arunachal Pradesh and China claims Tawang as a part of the Tibetan Autonomous Region. तो यहाँ पे जैसे कि हम जानते हैं कि LAC का clear demarcation न होने की वजह से normally there are face off which occurs during the patrolling. So here some Chinese soldiers, they were detained for few hours, but after that they were released and they were not taken into custody for a longer period. Okay, so defense protocols कुछ होते हैं, उससे related क्या होता है कि whenever there is a problem, okay, they discuss it and then the soldiers are released. Now अगर हम देखें तो यहाँ पे एक information है that two sides means there was a 13th round of corps commander talks between the two sides for disengagement and de-escalation, and this has resulted into disengagement in two areas, Pangong So and Gogra area. Hot Spring के ऊपर अभी discussion चल रही है. Then there is some other area where there is no disengagement currently, like Demchok, Despang and Chushul area. Now the 89th Air Force Day. So Air Force Day is observed annually on 8th October. So 9th Air Force Day was celebrated yesterday at Hindon Air Base in Ghaziabad. You can see the Jaguar fighters. They are putting up a spectacular show during the parade. Now the next is about the SC flags consequences of growing digital divide. ये learning से associated है, education से associated है, where the Supreme Court is concerned about the digital divide caused by online courses, which will itself defeat the fundamental right of every child to education. Okay, so under Article 21A of the Constitution of India, right to education is a fundamental right. So during the pandemic, as you can see, there was a school survey, SCHOOL survey, according to which there was clear digital divide between urban and rural area related to access to online education. Now there is a park-based scheme, okay, where the fishermen, the government has taken a decision to develop the fishing in Park Bay area by increasing their unit cost. Okay, so here one bill has been discussed, a marine fisheries bill. So marine fisheries bills, it regulates fishing activity taking place beyond 12 nautical miles and up. Okay, so 12 nautical miles is often considered as the territorial limit of Indian waters. Now see, this news is the one which is related to what we did, that according to the police, fresh militant recruits has a role in targeted killings which has happened in Valley in recent past. Okay, so recently there has been increase in killings of the local civilians, and over here there is one particular group called as Resistance Front, which is often considered as the shadow of Lashkar-e-Taiba and backed by Pakistan. So they are carrying out these targeted killings. The second is about Fumio Kishida, who was appointed as the new Prime Minister of Japan. So Prime Minister Modi and Kishida, they have committed to strengthening the relations and they have reviewed the progress under Quad. Now a news, our Chief Economic Advisor Krishnamurthy Subramaniam. So this is one line GK, that now he will be completing his 3 years terms. After that he has announced that he will be returning to academics. Now Supreme Court has announced that it will conduct a physical hearings twice a week, and the hybrid systems can't be forever, as we know that the pandemic is now receding, so the physical hearing will resume soon. Now center didn't specifically ask for oxygen deaths data according to Congress. Now this is about the motion privilege moved by Congress member in Rajya Sabha, Mr. Venugopal, KK Venugopal. He has moved a privilege motion, a breach of privilege motion in the Rajya Sabha, where he has put a notice where he says that a statement made by the Minister of State of Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare that there were no deaths due to oxygen shortage reported by the states during the second wave of COVID-19 is the breach of the privilege of a member. And the states were didn't specifically ask for, the central government had not asked from the states for oxygen related deaths during the COVID-19. Then Ayush Ministry has said that Giloy is safe to use. Okay, so what is the scientific name of Giloy? So Giloy or Guduchi, which is also known as Tinospora cordifolia is a safe herb to be used, and it is used for treating fever, infections, diarrhea and diabetes. But at the same time, they have also said that there are some other herbs which are similar to giloy but not giloy, which are currently in use, but they can be harmful. Now, air quality panel expects reduced stubble burning. Now this is important. Now, according to the Commission for Air Quality Management, they have said that this year there can be low cases of stubble burning because there was reduction in the cultivation of rice, okay, by 12.42%. So if we just talk about the areas which where the stubble burning is problem, so total paddy area in Haryana, Punjab and 8 NCR districts of Uttar Pradesh has reduced by 7.72%. Similarly, the total paddy straw generation from non-basmati variety of rice is likely to reduce by 12.42%. So mainly the burning of this stubble from rice is the cause of concern, which causes air pollution, especially in national capital region and areas surrounding it. Now the central and state governments of Haryana, Punjab and UP, they have been taking measures to diversify crop and to reduce the use of Pusa 44 variety of paddy. Paddy means rice. तो क्या होता है कि ये जो पूसा 44 है, ठीक है, इसकी जो स्टबल होती है, स्ट्रॉ होता है, बहुत इसके बर्निंग से ही प्रॉब्लम होता है. सो बर्निंग ऑफ द पैडी स्ट्रॉ फ्रॉम नॉन बासमती वैरायटी ऑफ क्रॉप इज़ द प्राइम कंसर्न. इसको हम कैसे दूर करेंगे? इसको हम ऐसे दूर करेंगे कि क्रॉप डाइवर्सिफिकेशन. एट सम ऑफ द फार्मर्स मे नॉट कल्टिवेट राइस, दे मे कल्टिवेट पल्सेस और सम अदर क्रॉप्स, एंड फॉर राइस पर्टिकुलरली मूविंग अवे फ्रॉम पूसा 44 variety and replacing it with high yielding varieties. Now see, this is something again a very disturbing news from Afghanistan. So see, Islamic State claimed suicide attack in Kunduz. So Kunduz is the blast took place especially in the Shia mosque in Afghanistan. Okay, so this is the now cause of concern. The Doha agreement and the UNSC resolution 2593 specifically wanted Taliban to take action on this, that it should not become the haven for other terrorist groups. Now the terrorist group which is involved in this is Islamic State Khorasan, ISK, which has claimed attack for on the mosques. Okay, so Kunduz, it is an Afghan city, okay, and where the Shia mosque was blown up. The next is very important international news, that Nobel Peace Prize has been awarded. So to two people, Maria Ressa from Philippines and Dmitry Muratov of Russia. Now if we just see Miss Ressa or Maria Ressa, in 2012 she co-founded Rappler. Okay, this is very important, that she co-founded Rappler, which is a news website that focused especially on President Rodrigo Duterte's controversial, murderous and anti-drug campaign in Philippines. Okay, and she is quite right now, she is in jail, she has been imprisoned right now. Okay, and the next is that she is the first Filipino, from Philippines to win the Peace Prize, and also for this year she is the first woman to be honored with the Nobel Prize. Then coming to Dmitry Muratov. So Dmitry Muratov, he also runs an independent journal in Russia, which is called as Novaya Gazeta. Okay, and this is the most independent newspaper in Russia, which is fundamentally critical towards those who are in power. Now Poland's top court, okay, has in a judgment has said that some of the EU treaty articles are incompatible with Polish constitution. Okay, now why this judgment is a problem? If so, see, Poland is the member of European Union. Now if the Supreme Court of Poland says that some of the EU rules okay, are in contravention of the Polish constitution, so this poses a question on the membership of Poland within EU. Okay, so that's why there is a problem over here. Now Myanmar's military actions alarmed the United Nations. Now see, the United Nations on Friday. Now this is see, Myanmar's military junta. What has happened was that in February the democratic elected government was overthrown in coup d'etat, and the military junta or military dictators, they started ruling Myanmar. Now there are certain regions in Myanmar which are specifically opposed to the ruling of military in Myanmar. So those regions are Chin State, Kani and Monvia Township in Central Sagaing region, and Gangao Town in Magwe region. Here the Myanmar's military, they have deployed heavy weapons and troops, which has for which the United Nations is critical. So the office of the United Nations High Commissioner of Human Rights, which is headed by Michelle Bachelet, she has said that the deployment of two high-ranking commanders, okay, represents a very worrying escalation. Then Google is going to ban all the climate denial ads. So Google will ban all those digital ads which promotes false climate change claims from appearing on its website. Now RBI suspends GSAP. Now what is the full form of GSAP? It is Government Security Acquisition Program. Now why this program was initiated by RBI? Now see, government whenever comes out with the budget, it has some borrowing targets. The government always borrows from market, but RBI ensures that the cost of borrowing for the government should be minimum. Okay, so RBI came up with a Government Security Acquisition Program so that it can do the security transactions for the two purposes. First, for the lowering the cost of borrowing for the government. Second, injecting liquidity in the market so that the market can function and the demand can revive. Now Supreme Court is now the RBI is saying that the certain conditions have changed, like the liquidity measures which it has already taken, okay, for the orderly financing conditions and conducive environment for the recovery is already there. So that's why the Government Security Acquisition Program for now will not take place. Okay, so it has deferred the Government Security Acquisition Program. Now there are certain other programs through which the RBI infuses liquidity in the market. Those are Operation Twist, okay, and then the next is Open Market Operations or OMO. The second is about what is the inflation outlook of RBI. So RBI is saying that for this fiscal, okay, the targeted growth is at 9.5 and the inflation will be 5.3%. The problem which has been raised is that elevated global crude oil prices and commodity prices are still high, making the inflation little sticky. Then this is very important news. Reserve Bank raises IMPS limit to rupees 5 lakh. Now what is IMPS? IMPS is immediate payment services. So it is a payment system which provides 24/7 instant domestic fund transfer facility, and it is accessible through various channels such as internet and mobile banking. Earlier the limit was rupees 2 lakh, now it is rupees 5 lakh. The next news is that Goyal pushes for a reset of India-ASEAN FTA. So our Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal, now he wants certain changes in India-ASEAN Free Trade Agreement, okay, as to prevent the misuse by third parties, and the second is to remove the trade restrictions as well as non-tariff barriers. Now what is this misuse by third parties? Now see, in free trade agreement what happens is that there is already a low trade barriers. The custom duties on certain products will be very minimum. Now this is only for those 10 Asian countries, but it may happen that some other countries like China in this case, if they are facing high tariff in India, they can route their products through these 10 Asian countries to India in order to avoid the high tariff. So that's why here our minister has mentioned that we should make a rule to prevent the misuse by the third party. Now this was the sole reason that why India did not sign a regional comprehensive economic partnership along with some other reasons. So this is called as origin, that where the product is originating, that should be mentioned. Otherwise some other countries should not take the benefit and routing their products through some other countries to reach India. The next is that states in North India, they are going through power cuts as coal stocks are shrinking. Some 50% of the units are left with less than 3-day stocks. So here the problem is that 70% of the electricity generation in India is coal based, and most of our thermal power plants, they rely on imported coal and some on the domestic coals. Now if we just see that the imported coal price has increased by more than 40%. Second thing, due to more than normal rainfall in September, the domestic coal mining in India has dropped down, making coal availability a problem for this thermal power plant. Now to the editorial. Now see, grim turn. Now here this article talks about the growing attack in targeted attack and killing of civilians. So 7 civilians have been killed in 6 days, okay, and police believe that has been carried out by Resistance Front, okay, which is the shadow organization of Pakistan based LTT or Lashkar-e-Taiba. Now who are the victims? So victims, they include local Muslims who are branded as traitors, okay, and Hindu Pandit and Sikh communities. Fine. Last day there was the killing of a leading pharmacist Makhan Lal Bindru. Then there was the killing of a teachers, often labeled as RSS stooge or police informer or a traitor, okay. Then there was the killing of Muslims also, Majid Ahmad Gojri and Muhammad Shafi Dar, who were killed on October 2nd. Now if we just see this rising of killing, this has taken into a certain background, that those backgrounds are that after the central government initiative, Pandits, Kashmiri Pandits, they are returning to the valleys, and then these attacks have increased on them, and this is for the first time where we are seeing that casualties of civilians. Now you can see that there were 28 civilian killings and 22 security personnel were killed, okay. Out of this 28 killings, you will see that 4 were local Hindus, 1 Sikh, 2 non-local Hindu who were laborers, and 21 local Muslims, okay. Then 23 were political workers, okay, mainly from the BJP. So this type of targeted killings have increased in the valley. So how to counter it? So in the last 3 lines, the author is suggesting that we should pursue the terrorist. At the same time, administration should also engage with political parties and civil society organizations in dealing with such situations, because on the first page we did that the local militants are increasing in Jammu and Kashmir. The next is about the organocatalyst. So here it is being discussed that 2 persons who had helped in developing the organocatalyst were German scientist Benjamin List of the Max Planck Institute and Scotland-born scientist David Macmillan of Princeton University have been awarded the Nobel Prize for Chemistry in 2021. So this article goes on discussing about the importance of catalyst in chemical reactions, okay. Here they are talking about the asymmetric organocatalyst, okay. Now this asymmetric organocatalyst is little advanced version of asymmetric catalyst. Now asymmetric catalysts are based on heavy metals which are quite polluting. Then asymmetric organocatalysts, they are not quite polluting, they are not industrially intensive, they do not require too much water. The second thing is that they do not generate too much waste, okay. So this is the article which shows that great discoveries can come even from the simple ideas which we often overlook. The next is upon the federalism. Here the article is discussing about the federalism in the Indian Constitution, and it says that federalism in Indian Constitution, okay, is very important because we are a very multicultural society, okay, and the states are based on the linguistic basis. The states in India are based on linguistic basis, and then it starts discussing some of the problems which have occurred recently. Like first, if we will just see the Rajya Sabha session in 2021, when the marshals were called to when the house members became unruly while for the passing of the bills. And then the second, it talks about uh, uh, the rising number, the criminalization of politics in India. Then it goes on changing, it goes on mentioning that there has been certain key changes which have occurred in Indian federalism. For example, the Rajni Kothari's 140 dominance model of the Congress system has now been replaced by BJP. Then Midral's soft state is now replaced by the Pegasus area, where fake videos and new instrument of mass destruction and coercions are used. Then galvanized functioning anarchy, okay, has now greater criminalization in India's democracy, where 30% of the legislature have criminal records. Okay, then he goes on mentioning about the KC Ware. KC Ware का एक ओपिनियन था इंडिया के बारे में कि द इंडियाज फेडरलिज्म इज क्वाजी फेडरल. ओके, एंड ही डिस्क्राइब्ड सर्टन फॉल्ट लाइन्स इन इंडियन फेडरलिज्म. ओके, in the but not as operational fault lines, but fault lines as the structure has been made. But the author says that even if there is some fault lines, but the operational the operation of the federalism can be overcome by the institutional professionalism. Okay, so the author discusses some of the deficits in Indian federalism. So see, Indian federalism is like a federalism with the centralizing tendency. So if we just see that there are some basic constituents of federalism, that democratic federalism, it presupposes that institutions should ensure equality between and among the units and the center. So for example, in federalism there will be one central government, and under that central government there will be many subunits which are called as states. So federalism's first assumption is that there should be equality between these states and equality between center and states. But if we just see the structure of our constitution, so the structure of our constitution is such that the residual power, the power to make laws on residual issues or reserved powers, we say, and the residual matters, it lies with the center. The second is that if we just see that over here, the Indian federalism is also called as the destructible units of the destructible states of indestructible union. Means central government has a power to literally alter the state boundaries and create the new states. Okay, then there are certain structural conflicts in Indian federalism. For example, the All India Services. So All India Services is one of the departure from the federalism. For example, the central government, they appoint the members of the All India Services, they serve in states, and on deputation they serve on center also. Then if you just see the 7th schedule of the constitution, which mentions the list, okay, we have 3 types of list in that: union list, state list, and concurrent list. And then the author is discussing that some of the subjects which are important for governance, they are in union list, and states are left with the politically controversial subjects such as law and order and land reforms. So over here the author says that most of the Indian federalism, most of the Indian federal provisions, they have little shortcomings over here. Then it discusses about the Rajya Sabha, that Rajya Sabha, which indirectly represents the states, okay, where the members of the Rajya Sabha are elected from the state legislature. Most of the time, since the Rajya Sabha membership does not have any residential qualification, so most of the time they represent their party more than the state. Then if there is a passage of bill, so like for example money bill, so in money bill, passage of money bill, the Lok Sabha has been given the primacy. Second, about the joint session, so if there is a deadlock on any bill, So the joint session is summoned by the President of India over there. Lok Sabha has the weightage. First of all, the joint session is presided over by the Speaker, and the bills are passed by a simple majority. So since the Lok Sabha has the higher member, the Lok Sabha, they have more members as compared to Rajya Sabha, so the will of Lok Sabha is imposed. So these are the problems in the Indian federalism. The next is about the public health. So over here there are two things. One is community medicine, the second is about the medical health. So in 1950s there was a growing consensus in the world about the importance of socially oriented physicians, okay, for population health policy, for the greater outcome of population health. So it led to the establishment of community medicine as the distinct medical specialty both at undergraduate and postgraduate level. Okay, now here the author is now suggesting certain changes to be made, okay, from moving from community medicine to the public health. Now why public health? Because public health is a multidisciplinary science, as we saw in COVID-19 pandemic, okay, that equating the community medicine with the public health, it fails to embrace the multidisciplinary competencies which is required in public health. So over here we can take the example from Cuba, where Cuba has implemented the strong public health policy which has resulted into the better outcomes in that. Okay, now how can we overcome this situation? So we can upgrade our community medicine to community medicine and public health both at the undergraduate and postgraduate levels. Okay, at the same time we can, the doctors other than doctors and from fields allied to public health will be essential in the refurbishing or upgradation of community medicine and public health policy. Means representation of experts means the people who are doing the job related to collection of data related to public health and doctors. If there is a joint representation from both the field, it will lead to better outcome in community medicine and public health departments. So that's all for today. We will meet again on the next week with the Daily Hindu analysis. Till then, take care. Thank you.